Things a bride-to-be should not be doing on the wedding morning, part 12, is sleeping in. If you arranged a specific time for your hair and makeup artist to come and you've got a big bridal party, even if you've got a smaller one, but particularly if you've got a big one, make sure you're all there in time. Good hair and makeup artists will buffer in time so that they'll come a bit earlier to allow for things happening, because you can't guarantee, if you've got a schedule and somebody's to be in that seat at 9 o'clock, it might be 5 minutes past 9 or whatever it is. If you're the bride, you're not going first anyway, so make sure there's somebody there. You can have a sleep in, but make sure there is somebody in your bridal party in that seat when they need to be, give or take a few minutes, because that is going to have a huge effect on your day. It's going to have a knock-on effect. You're going to be late. You're going to be late for your own wedding. Now, there's nothing wrong with being, fashionably late. Some people do it tradition. There's nothing wrong with that, and things do happen. But if you're late because you're all sleeping in and you're not getting your hair and makeup done in time, that's not fair. It's not fair on your partner, because they might start worrying. It's fair enough if you're a wee bit fashionably, but if it's getting to an hour or something, they're going to start maybe thinking you have second thoughts. The hair and the makeup artist. So they come in for a set time and they're planning. They think, right, your ceremony's say 12 o'clock. They're going to be away by 12. That's it. But if you're late, that's having an effect on them. They have lives too. They've got family to maybe collect. They've got plans as well. Not that they'll rush off to do that, but they'll give enough time so that they can do that comfortably and allow for a little bit of lateness. But I'm talking about over an hour. Once you get to that stage, it's beyond funny. It's not respectful to anybody, and I think you've got to be really strict with your bridal party. A lot of the times it's the bridal party, it's not necessarily the bride, and they're holding things up. You need to tell them they need to be there at that time. If they're starting to, if they're really not coming in time, they won't sit in the chair, they might not get done. And what you're finding is makeup and hair artists are now putting clauses into their contracts to say that if you're not ready in time, they're going to have to start, they'll charge you for that. And that's fair enough. That's only fair. And this is another big reason why you pay more for wedding hair and makeup than you would for occasion makeup. Because if you're going to get your makeup done for a night out and you're late, your appointment time, you're done. You might not get finished, you might get rushed. That's it, you're done, you're out of there. They're taking on the next person, so you're not paying as much for that. But when it comes to your wedding, you don't get that option. You don't want to feel rushed. You've paid a lot of money for your wedding hair and makeup. We don't like feeling rushed. We don't like rushing hair and makeup. It's not good. We can do a hair and makeup quicker, but we shouldn't have to. So please do not sleep in. Make sure you're up in time. If you're having a longer lie, get somebody in that chair, because wedding hair and makeup artists will now start charging for that. And people already say how much they charge so much, and it's so much. But why shouldn't we charge more when we're being late and it's affecting our plans because there's people not in the seat when they're supposed to be?